What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And you are listening to another travel-packed episode of Liquid Kernedge.
Gosh, whether it's you or me, dude, one of us is always traveling somewhere, huh?
That's right, man. You always go to Old Sac, and I'm at least country to other places than Old Sac.
Yeah, no, I know. But hey, that's the way it's going to have to be for a little while until I get cool and I can travel to NOLA.
NOLA, that's right. I'm
NOLA,
from
baby.
NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana, for Halloween.
What'd you do today?
Oh, man, we toured some old plantations today.
Old plantations? What's that?
Yeah.
Oh,
like sugarcane plantations.
Oh, do they have a tour for you or?
Yeah, they've got about. They said during its prime they had about 400 different plantations going, all sugarcane. Back then it was called white gold because they can make so much money on it. And today, out of those 400, there's maybe 23 plantations left. So we went to one today called Lauren's Plantation, which Lauren is the name of one of the granddaughters of the owner, and they named it after her, hoping that she would one day take over the plantation. Spoiler alert: she did not.
Oh, great! And another child disappoints their parents.
Right, and it was cool though because it was a good history lesson on Creole plantations versus American plantations, how plantations worked before the Louisiana Purchase in 1803 and how they worked afterward, and slavery for that fact. It was actually really cool.
Oh, wow.
And then the second one we went to was called Oak Alley, which is the plantation you saw in Interview with the Vampire.
Yes!
Very cool, very beautiful plantation. And these are all about an hour outside of New Orleans, so it was kind of cool to get away for the day.
Now, are these plantations actively owned by people who live in them, or is it just a tourist site now?
These are tour sites. Some are still lived in and treated like actual homes. Others are just you pay $25 to get to take a tour and read all the history and whatnot, and you get to see a different side. A not so fun side of America, of our history. And one of the most interesting things I learned today was that when Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, Louisiana was exempt from that for a while.
Really?
So slavery was not outlawed because we still had Union troops in Louisiana, and someone had to do all the cooking and cleaning and maintenance for them.
Oh no! Wow.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
That's one of nature's dark little historical things that we just don't talk about. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Well, I guess that is kind of neat. But then again, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863, and they were still at war at the time. So maybe they thought, well, we don't have to abide by this because we still have, a law yet. We just have a proclamation, which is like a version of a executive order kind of deal. So that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. And the other side is when you learn about slavery, they talked about how French slavery rules were completely different from American slavery rules. So when the Louisiana Purchase happened, the French slavery rules no longer enacted, and it took America about 15 years to actually get their shit together and start enacting laws for slaves. So it was literally just, I don't want to say the Wild West, but anything goes carte blanche.
Okay.
For that period of time. So it was a very scary time in America for what we did and how we treated the slaves back then.
Now, let me ask you this, Scott. When I went to not Monticello, when I went to Mount Vernon in Virginia, we went to go see Washington's plant, and he had a huge plantation. I mean, it's huge, but the house itself was actually very, I almost want to say plain. Yeah, like it was very square, and all the rooms were really small, and there was nothing there was no big, huge foyer areas or anything like that. Did you find that in the plantations that you visited today?
Absolutely.
Okay,
that's exactly what it was. And they told us the reason for that, though. They said the things about plantations down here, especially in Louisiana, if the plantation was white, like painted white, it was an American family that spoke English. If it was any other color, like yellow, beige, whatever, it was a Creole family. And French was spoken on that plantation. So that's how you could tell the difference. And you paid taxes on the house based on how many rooms you had, and they counted hallways as rooms. So there are no hallways. Every room was connected with a door.
Wow.
So you walk you walk into one, and there's a door to the next room, the next room, and the next room, and then you're out. And they taxed on windows too. So to get around that, they would put windows in the door, so it wasn't technically a window. So every door outside had windows to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all these crazy little tricks that they learned because they didn't want to have to pay taxes back then either.
Well, and I remember in Mount Vernon, I always found it interesting too, because the quarters where all the food was cooked, nowhere near where the house was, because with all the open fire flames, you could burn your whole house down.
And that's exactly it. Same down here. They had a separate house for the kitchen, and the slaves slept upstairs. It was a whole trip, man. It was an experience to sit and listen to learn about these things.
And it took you back in time.
It did. It really did. And for as cool as Oak Alley was, just because I've seen Interview the Vampire 1,000 times, and it's a very beautiful place. The history was not nearly as cool and as dark as Lauren's plantation. So if you ever get down to the New Orleans area down here, man, I recommend checking it out.
Yeah, it sounds like you could probably put together a really nice package, like for people who want to come to New Orleans for the first time. Some of our listeners might want to come to New Orleans for the first time. You could probably put together a pretty cool package.
Oh yeah, and if they have any questions about where to go or what to do, they can hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Liquid Kernedge. And I will give you my Louisiana, New Orleans tip of the day if you want. Where do you want to go eat? Where do you want to go drink? What do you have to go see while you're here? I mean, there's so many things to do. And we've got a new friend with us down here for the first time, so we're trying to squeeze in everything we can for her in the 3 days that she's here that she needs to do while she's here. The list is growing.
Yeah, and I'm sure New Orleans, like Chicago, is one of those places that you can only, do your best to try to fill 3 days worth of stuff in, because there's just so much probably going on that you can't, you could be there 4 weeks and not see everything.
Exactly. Exactly. There's something going on every day, and you never know, you're as busy as you want to be is what it comes down to.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Well, I was going to say, Scott, I actually did something kind of interesting this weekend. I actually did the tour of Chase Field.
Oh, did you? That's a cool tour, isn't it?
Yeah. You're so focused on getting to your ballpark, getting to your seat, getting food or whatever, you don't realize what is that stadium has to offer. I had no idea. There are places in the stadium that, like the Rotunda area, I never knew that if you looked up and you went up the escalator that there was all those all those pictures of the things that make Arizona, Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a neat experience. It's a trip, man. A lot of people don't know I worked down there in 2001, the year the Diamondbacks won the World Series. So as part of the hiring process, they made us take that tour, and they made us, learn everything about it, which is really cool in retrospect because I can't remember anything anymore. But I remember being 20 years old back in the day and getting to learn all about that and getting to see, all the tricks of Major League Baseball for the fan experience. It's a really cool trip.
I think the other thing it taught me too is do a little bit more research on some of the great seating venues that they have in that ballpark. I figure I literally just always go to right field side of the park, and we were talking about, wouldn't it be fun to get a group of 40 people together and rent the pool for the game, or get one of the booths up at PetSmart where they have tables there and it's like its own bar. You pay a little bit more for the ticket, but you get all the food you want. It's all included. And on Mondays and Sundays, you can bring your dogs there. It's dog friendly.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
So
we went to a game last April after the Tillman run, and I like sitting way up high, like in the bleachers, like overlooking the outfield. It's just a fun experience. To me, it's when you're there in early April or late September, and the dome's open, and you're sitting outside. There is nothing more perfect than the weather, and you just feel like you're in the middle of the sky. It's a great experience.
Oh yeah. No, it was definitely a neat tour. I'm really glad I went to it because I've been to Wrigley Field and did their tour. I've been to Fenway Park, did their tour, and now I've been to Chase Field. But for some reason, going Chase Field is a little bit different just because it's our park. So it means a little bit more. And I think next time I'll probably go there a little earlier just so I can check out some of the, the cool things. not just go right to my seat. Most of the time we just, we get there, we go to our seat, we watch the game. So.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I try to do every time I go to a ballpark too, is just get there a little bit earlier when the game slows down. Just go cruise the park and see, what it has to offer. And I'll be honest, one of my favorite parks that I've been to is Petco down in San Diego for the Padres.
Oh, I've never been there. Okay.
They have one of the coolest ballparks.
Yeah.
That's totally worth checking out.
Okay, I'm gonna do it now.
Yeah, the Superdome down here in New Orleans is really cool too. To check out this, even though it's an older dome. It's just cool just to be able to go through. It's all these giant catacombs, and their steps in the upper deck are about 18 inches high. So you're taking big steps to climb those stairs. So it's an experience watching people try to hold their beers and not spill them while they're climbing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, we went to a game one time up in Chase Field, and, that upper third deck on the left field side, I mean, the whole space was empty, right? I mean, it was empty. But one person had their seat way, way at the top. And I thought to myself, why don't you just move down closer? But they probably got the kick out of climbing all those stairs and getting up into that one spot by themselves,
That's half the fun.
Yeah. So, yeah. So.
But that's always cool to take those kind of tours. Did you ever tour the Grand Canyon Caverns?
The Grand Canyon Cavern. No. I've been to the base of the canyon and back, but I've never been to the caverns.
See, maybe next time you're up in town for a weekend, we should take the day and run out there and go tour the Grand Canyon Caverns, because I haven't done that since I was a kid. And that's a really fun tour to take. Plus, now they've got a restaurant and a hotel room down there.
I was going to say, I thought
the caverns.
You can rent a room down there, I thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's kind of different. Oh, it is?
Yeah, it'd be cool. It's super expensive.
Neither of us won the lottery last week, and that podcast has been very popular. We've got a lot of people listen to it. So
everyone, I did get a lot of positive responses about me wanting to buy the Phoenix Suns. So maybe that's what we'll do. Is we'll start a Liquid Kernedge GoFundMe to see if we can raise.
Oh my gosh, $1.2 billion. That's a great idea.
So we could buy the Phoenix Suns.
Now, if we only get to $800 million, we don't have to give the money back, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Okay.
I think we have to do something else, like buy the Coyotes or, another cheaper sports team.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll catch the Browns on a fire sale. I don't know, because they're a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, as of this recording, that whole city is going through some changes.
Right.
I mean, they fired the basketball coach and they fired the football coach.
Yeah, they fired Lou, they fired Hugh, and if your name is Stu, you're probably going to get fired next. So you better.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, man.
No kidding.
But yeah, it's a trip down here for Halloween. If you ever get the opportunity to go, I think it's something everyone should take advantage of the opportunity.
I'm not a huge Halloween person, so I want everyone to.
Well, then you should check it out during Easter. Then you might like it more during Easter or Arbor Day. I mean, the
reason why I say that is because Noreen is huge Halloween. That's like her.
That's her thing.
That's her thing, right? Well, every year though, she starts getting on Facebook and seeing all the costumes and all the, what people costumes and man almighty, some of our friends are amazing costume builders.
They really are.
I for those of you who watch Liquid Kernedge, maybe we can post a picture of our friends Vicky and Chris, who are actually there with you.
They are with me, yes.
Some of the costumes that they put together for their trip to New Orleans, which is now, 4 years in a row or 3?
4. I think 4.
4.
Yeah.
The 4th year for them to go do this. So they take it seriously.
Oh, yeah. There's no fucking around with it.
Their costumes were absolutely amazing. Now, I have not seen yours yet. I'm assuming you're going to wear it tomorrow or Wednesday or
Halloween night. Yeah, I'll wear mine Halloween night.
Okay.
I go the opposite of them. Everyone's very detailed and very
take it seriously.
Take it seriously, man. And I am all about the ease of how comfortable is drunk me going to be when I'm in my costume. Well, and to me that's serious. So
I mean that's a serious that's a very good point. Well, I mean I was amazed with the pictures of Chris and Vicky, but Dean and Danielle did a Halloween thing on Saturday in Kingman. Their costumes were amazing.
They were the nuns from the Conjuring movies? Is that what they were?
I think so. I don't even know. Danielle I recognize only because, her lovely face is just easy to recognize. Uh-huh. But Dean, I didn't even recognize. I did not even recognize his face. And then Noreen showed me a picture of someone else, and I looked, Yeah, I didn't.
Oh yeah.
I mean, threw me for a loop. I'm like totally blown away by his. And I realized
this is the first time he stepped up and did something like that, so it was good for him.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that take this Halloween and costume stuff pretty seriously.
Yeah,
well,
and for good reason though too. I'll be honest, if I had the attention span to do a costume like that, I absolutely would. I think it'd be a lot of fun to go in there and win some of these contests. But I'm all about the ease of life at this point for that. So I'm going as Brett Kavanaugh, Supreme Court Judge Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
Wow.
on Wednesday night. So I've got my.
You're gonna have ski. You're gonna have the Devil's Triangle. You got it all, man. You got everything.
I've got my calendar already filled out with Beach Week and the Devil's Triangle Conference. It'll be good.
So, and would you say that New Orleans is the place to go for Halloween?
It's one of them.
Oh, okay. Where else would Halloween be a good place to go?
You can never go wrong with Vegas for Halloween.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about that. Hell, Vegas can probably cover most of the holidays.
Yeah, I think Massachusetts. I think Salem. There's something about the old world originality of the witch trials and everything that happens there in October. I think would be really cool. Yeah, check out.
I will say this, and I'm not going to ruin it for you. We went there in October, the middle of October, so it wasn't Halloween, but in the middle of October to Salem. Check it out. It was very commercialized, and there was a lot of little kids. I didn't get a big sense of fear, scary, and what I was expecting.
Yeah, I get the feeling though that anymore with Halloween though, the fear and scary it's pumped out of us by today's culture. Like everyone wants the gore. They don't want the Exorcist scare. They want the how bloody can it get and how many guts can you show.
Oh man, I don't know, man. Now I was because I've always been, me, I've always been scared of the possession shit. Like when someone possesses you, that kind of stuff scares me because I really think, and I told you this, that I think could really happen. And my luck, I'd get possessed, I'd kill all of my friends, I'd wake up, there'd be 50 dead bodies around, and I wouldn't know how it happened. And they'd arrest me, put me in jail for the rest of my life, or worse, death penalty.
And when you say shit like that, it scares the shit out of me.
Right. I mean, but,
I don't want you getting possessed and killing your 50 friends. You don't even have 50 friends.
Hey, the people, our listeners on Liquid Kernedge don't know that. Come on, man.
Sorry, you are right.
See, now you've cut the strings. The puppet has fallen. Now no one believes.
Clearly, if you get possessed, I'm the first one to die now. Clearly, so
yeah. But Salem, it was like you said. Maybe it's better during the evening. Everything I've heard from friends, Noreen, everyone who's been in New Orleans says the Halloween is like the place to go for Halloween. That's just the place to go.
I think even if you don't go for Halloween, it's a place you have to go and experience at least once. I think there's so much to do, so much culture, and this is actually its 300th birthday this year. I don't know what birthday celebration you get for 300 years. Is that like the ultra white diamond Elizabeth Taylor collection birthday? I'm not sure what that is, but
good Lord, 300 years. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
so it's older than the United States.
Yeah,
as a country.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Because this was a trading post for France originally.
Yeah,
this is all French, so it's crazy all the cultures because you have the American culture now plus the Native Americans, and you have French, you have Italian, you have the Creole culture and Voodoo, and everyone. There's just this giant melting pot of just different worlds all colliding and finding a way to exist, and it's a very cool feel. It's a very old world feel in the French Quarter too.
Now, the rumors that I've heard about New Orleans is it's kind of a dirty city. Is that what you find when you're there?
Yeah. I don't. Why mince words on it? Yeah, it's not exactly the cleanest city in the world.
Yeah.
And I know people complain that the French Quarter smells like pee first thing in the morning. Like, no, it doesn't. They're just hosing off the vomit from the night before. It'll be fine. If it's a drafty day, it's not that big of a deal. But even though it's a little dirty, there's still a lot of beauty in there. I think Jackson Square is probably one of the coolest, pieces of tourism that they have.
Oh, okay.
It's a very, very beautiful, very well done church and square, and they sell all the art around it, and it's just really neat.
Gosh, okay, yeah. Noreen says we have to go. doesn't want to go for a weekend. She wants to go for longer because she said you can't experience it for just 2 days or 3 days because it's so limited. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to make the trip out there just for 2 or 3 days. But
I would suggest 4 to 5 day bursts.
Okay.
It probably takes a couple days to a couple trips to pack it all in, but you want to take and really appreciate like going up through the quarter or taking the swamp tours, learning about the music and just hearing the music because the vibes out here are just it's nothing you can explain. You have to experience it for yourself.
Are you going to be able to go out and see our paranormal guy this week?
Chris Melisol?
Chris
Melisol? No, I have not. Chris is very busy this time of year. I chatted with him real quick last week because he was on the Travel Channel on that Chris Jericho special. They were running a spirit box section out in one of the swamps for where someone buried demonic ritual stuff. So I shot him a note and said, "Hey, congrats on being on TV for that." But I think he responded back, but he's very busy this time of year, so I won't have a chance to.
For those of you who may be new listening to Liquid Kernedge for the first time, you can go back to some of our past episodes, and one of them was an interview that we did probably about a year ago now.
It was about a year. It was early November last year. Yeah.
Early November last year, where we interviewed Chris during when we were trying to do it through Skype, or we were trying to do how we were recording it. It wasn't a great recording, but the guy is seriously legit, and some of the stories just will raise your hair on your neck or your arms. It was freaky, weird.
And if you go back and check Tom's Twitter, liquid_EP, our executive producer, his notes on that mentioned that there was a lot of I don't want to say like blackout, but like dark spaces or dead time on the recording where.
And yet, when we were talking to him, it was working fine. So I don't know, but. Yeah, so Thursday?
I come back first thing on November 1st. So as people are listening to this going to work, I will be sitting on a Southwest plane, flying to Houston and flying to Las Vegas.
Going to Las Vegas. That's nice. Yeah, that's real
nice.
That's it. Well, there's another big thing that's happening in the next 3 days that I think it's important. As we've had podcasts on this before, the dating season officially ends in 3 days for you.
That's right.
It ends on the 31st, actually. It ends on the 31st. So if you
end of dating season, yes.
Yeah, so if you can get your chops in before, everyone get them in now, because once the 31st hits, you're just begging for trouble.
That's right. No new prospects after Halloween until February 15th.
February 15th. That's right. Unless Cupid's arrow comes calling, and then
Hey, and if Cupid's arrow comes calling, you do what you got to do. But as everyone knows, as we've talked about time and time again on the show, November 1st through February 15th is not dating season. It's the off season. Take it off because you don't know what's real and what's not real during that time of year.
That's right. That's right.
Some people just don't want to be lonely and cold, and they just want cheap presents.
No, some people take the relationship hip deep, like they jump in that pool real quick.
Oh yeah.
Some people do that. Like, hey, nice to meet you. Hey, let's get married. Hey, let's have kids. Like the boom, 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 boom. It's like not even a big deal.
Yeah, not even twice with it, and that's all within a week of meeting each other. I mean, they meet some person, they have a plan, they just try to fit that person into the plan they have. Tom has a great story about that. If we ever have 6 hours to kill, the way he tells stories. Wow. I'm sure he'd love to come on the show and tell us about that story, because it actually is one of my favorite stories about my brother and his dating abilities, because this is such a horribly funny story because he was so naive to everything this girl was doing. I think we should get Tom to come on and talk about this just as a don't date during non-dating season. Lesson.
Well,
it's funny.
We've also we have to start planning, because in a couple weeks we're going to record our drunk history episode.
Our Thanksgiving special this year.
It's a Thanksgiving special. We're doing the drunk history. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, we got to work on the story too, so I can get knowledgeable about it, and I can tell the story.
That's fine. Yeah, I need you to be knowledgeable. And we'll record this on an evening. I'll come down to Phoenix for that weekend, because we're going to that mac and cheese festival that weekend also.
Yeah. We're planning going to mac and cheese. and that's one of the biggest things that I've learned about being in the big city is there are so many food options here, dude. I get overwhelmed. I don't even feel like I can pick out all the different kinds of restaurants. And all of them, almost every single one of them, offers mac and cheese now. Like, it's seriously legit food item. Like a serious food item.
It is. It's a staple food in America. America has taken macaroni and cheese and made it its own by doing all these other insane things just to spice it up. It's no longer just your Kraft in a box. It's a hardcore, legit entree.
We have a couple minutes left on this, and we should probably talk because this is our last podcast before the election. Our next podcast will be after the election's over. So no matter which way you lean, right or left, your candidate will either have been chosen or not been chosen. Your initiatives will not be passed or will be passed. So, good luck to everyone. I'm a mail-in ballot guy, so my votes have already, and I've sent them away. So.
The part I don't like about being an absentee balloter, which it's as easy as it is, I don't get a sticker. And I've always liked having the sticker. Call me old school, call me old fashioned, but I like having the sticker for when I vote. But I don't like waiting.
Yeah, so you can. Now, are you wanting to put it on your shirt, or do you put it on your like your wallet or something like that?
Oh, I find random cars on Walmart, and I put them on there. Like clearly cars that blind people that aren't voting.
Wait a minute. So you're not even getting the sticker for yourself. You're getting it so you can put it on someone's car. Wow.
Hey, it's my God-given right as a voter to do with what I want to do with that sticker. If I want to put it on some rando's car, that's their problem, not mine.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. So I love the absentee ballot. I don't think I'll ever go to a polling station again. I don't even know where a polling station in Phoenix is. I think it's at a church, but I don't know. So, just a reminder to everyone who listens this week, get out and vote. Vote for your candidates, vote for your initiatives.
Most importantly, don't vote because there's a D next to their name or an R next to your name. Research the candidate. Make sure you're picking the right person for the right job.
It's so hard anymore to know what the truth is on these commercials we see. I mean, boy, if whatever commercial you buy into or don't buy into, your candidate is either the worst treasonous child molester ever in the history of mankind, or their opponent is the world's worst child molester, cheater of mankind. So, do your homework, research, and think that your vote counts. I don't know if it does or not, but it makes me feel good to say, you know what, I voted, and even if my candidate doesn't come up, at least I have a say. So hopefully everyone will have a good voting day, because by next week we'll be done. And
that is the best part, though. After next Tuesday, there are no more stupid political ads on TV. We can go back to the normal dribble bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, do me a favor. What's on tomorrow's schedule for your trip? We'll end with that.
We are hitting a swamp tour. We have to do some last-minute costume stuff for Chris and Vicky, and then we're gonna go through the quarter. I got to start. We got to just some things you have to knock off the checklist, like get a muffalata, go to the French market. There's things we have to do tomorrow that just have to get done before we leave. So tomorrow's we're gonna start knocking stuff off the list, get that swamp tour in, and just enjoy the day, because it's beautiful weather, man. It's 75 degrees out here right now, and there's a storm rolling in tomorrow night.
Perfect.
So
perfect.
We got to do it.
Oh God, that sounds so awesome.
So. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Liquid Kernedge, and tell us about your Halloween costume this year. Let us know. What'd you dress up as? Talk to Tom on his Twitter at Liquid_EP, and let us know if you like his Star Trek Giphy of the week, because he does take a lot of time and a lot of pride in looking for the perfect Star Trek GIF to comment on our shows.
Sorry, man. And there's probably 3 or 4 people in particular who love the gift.
Yeah.
Because it's a gift that keeps giving every episode.
Absolutely. All right, brother. Why don't you take us home?
All right, Scott. Nice talking to you. Enjoy the rest of your trip. Have a great time. That was Scott. I am Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Kernedge.